Hey guys, welcome to That LP Show. The name of the game is Sonic Lost World, a 3D action platformer in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, developed by Sonic Team and published by Sega for the Wii U in 2013. There was also a 3DS version developed by Dimps, but we're not here to cover that one. I'll be playing the Wii U version, which recently has been ported over to PC via Steam. So if you don't have a Wii U, which a lot of people don't, but you're still a Sonic fan and you want to check this game out, now it's available to you through Steam. And I looked at the system requirements. They're not too out of control, so any mid-range PC should be able to handle this game quite well. And I'll be honest, I, like many, when this game first launched, I did not enjoy it. I didn't like it. Sega made some, or Sonic Team specifically made some questionable design choices, which I didn't care for. But they did eventually patch the game and fix those problems. Anyway, this game suffers from Pokemon syndrome and only has one save file, so goodbye save data. I would also like to take this opportunity to remind everybody watching that this is a Let's Play. I will be talking, that includes occasionally over cutscenes like this. The game does have subtitles, so if you care that much about the story, you can either read the subtitles or you can go watch a Let's Play where nobody's talking over the cutscenes. But this is my commentary, so I am going to be doing commentary. That being said, this opening cutscene looks fantastic. You could actually see tiny little grains on the wings of the biplane. I mean, it's not quite as good as the opening cutscene to Sonic Unleashed, but in terms of overall quality, I'd say it's a definite runner-up. It's also nowhere near as long as the opening cutscene to Unleashed, which, depending on who you are, could be a good or bad thing. Okay, pay attention to this part right here. Eggman just shot the wing of the tornado. He shot the wing. Just file that little moment away in your short-term memory, because we'll be coming back to that. It looks like a very nerdy board game, says the guy who uses hexagon borders in his videos. Yeah, this is the Lost Hex. After Sonic CD, I'm not going to question a tiny planetoid floating around in the atmosphere of Sonic's world, because we'd established that, that can happen here. Okay, and after that short cut scene, we start up with our first stage, Windy Hill, Zone 1, and you can immediately tell that this game plays nothing like the two games that came before it, specifically Colors and Generations. And that, of course, is a point of contention among many fans. Some people love it, some people hate it. When the game first came out, I was one of the people who hated it, mainly because the game does a terrible job of explaining itself. Anyway, making its return to the Sonic series are the red star rings. There's five of them in each stage. I will be showing off how to get each one. By the way, you probably already noticed that this game wears its love of Super Mario Galaxy on its sleeve. It actually has a lot of love for the Mario series. Anyway, also making their return are the Wisps, and here's the Cyan Laser Wisp, and it works just the way it did before. When you pick up a Wisp, just press the R button, and that'll activate it. With the Cyan Wisp, you can use the analog stick or the touch screen if you want to, in order to aim where you're going to fire away. Then you just hold down the A button to charge up and release to fly forward. So we have animal capsules strewn about each stage. When you break them open, it frees animals. Also, when you destroy badniks, that also frees animals. It's very important that you free animals in this game, and you'll see why a little later. We also have these bells here. Anytime you see a bell, you want to kick it and then follow it to where it flies and kick it again until eventually it turns into another red star ring. And we have two places where you can go here. I'm going to go over to the left, just get another animal capsule right there. There is a way for you to grind for animals if you need them later on, but I'm going to show off where to find some of the animal capsules simply because if you're playing the PC version, you don't have that means of grinding for them that you do here in the Wii U version. Okay, we got some bouncy clouds here. If you hold the jump button, you bounce extra high, and Sonic spins around, and when he's nearby rings, he'll pull them in. Collecting rings, when this game first came out, did absolutely nothing at all outside of giving you an extra hit in traditional Sonic fashion. Whenever you get hit, your rings go flying everywhere. But as far as lives, this game was very stingy with them upon release, and collecting 100 rings did absolutely nothing to remedy that. That's one of the things that they fixed in a very big patch that they released for this game soon afterwards. The game is a much better experience overall because of that. Now you can actually, get through this game without seeing the game over screen constantly. Anyway, every once in a while we'll run into these gold cannons, and then they'll send us on these cylindrical Mach speed sections. On this one in particular, there's these rings with these numbers in them. If you manage to collect all of them in order, you're rewarded with an extra life. Other than that, it's not a terribly big deal. As far as game mechanics are concerned, they made quite a few changes in Sonic Lost World. This time, you can multi-target with your homing attack, and you also have a kick ability that you can activate using the Y or X button once you've targeted an enemy in order to either kick them into other enemies. It's also used for a break attack. Some of the enemies, like those snails, are armored, and in order to break their defenses, you have to kick them. Using a regular homing attack won't do much to them. Anyway, that's all 5-star rings collected. And break the animal capsule at the end, and we're done with Windy Hill Zone 1. Oh yeah, Amy and Knuckles are in this game too, for reasons.
Sonic and Tails will get your buddies back. Sonic, did you get those animals back from Eggman?
Just the one container he tossed off his Eggmobile.
Wait a minute, just the one? Weak. I would have gotten them all back by now.
Good for you. Don't you have a Master Emerald to guard?
I hate to think what Eggman's doing to those poor things.
Are they taking them off to be sacrificed to their god? Okay then, pointless cutscene is pointless. I guess we were just trying to establish that Amy and Knuckles are down on the planet's surface. And Yoshi? And the Triforce? In a Sonic game? I'm going to be completely ignoring those until way later. Okay, looks like we unlocked quite a bit of stuff, including some 2-player races, or some zones to put in 2-player races. Also, this game has Miiverse functionality. You can give items to other people in Miiverse, and they can give items to you. I'm going to opt out of using that because if I turn it on, then I'm going to have to deal with people giving me items after each stage, and my inventory is going to run out. You can only hold 5. Anyway, we have a few functions here. Settings, Miiverse, ranking for time attack, co-op. You can have a second player control a crappy little RC vehicle. You can unlock more of them through missions or connecting to the 3DS version of the game, which I'm not going to do. Also, time attack is grayed out because we haven't beaten the stage yet. And this little assembly line scene proves once and for all that Eggman doesn't actually roboticize animals in the way that we're used to, referring to roboticization, if you want to call it that. He doesn't do anything with their organs. He doesn't transform them into robots. It seems more like he uses them as batteries to power his machines. Which kind of makes sense if you've seen The Matrix. I guess he doesn't quite have the budget to power his robots with chaos drives like Gun. And we have some new enemies in Sonic Lost World. The Lost Hex is home to these guys, which they don't do a very good job of explaining, but, whatever, they're okay for villains in a kid's game. I especially like Zaz here. He kind of reminds me of Miley Cyrus. Okay, Windy Hill Zone 2, and it is a side-scrolling section, which is some of the more annoying sections in Sonic Lost World. You see, in this game, Sonic has 2 running speeds. Just simply holding the analog stick forward will only cause him to go into a swift jog. What you want to do is hold down the ZR button, and that causes him to run into a full 0 to max speed sprint. Now, when you're doing this, you can activate the game's new mechanic, the parkour system. Whenever Sonic hits any kind of wall or edge while holding down the run button, he starts to run up it. Gone are the days in which running into a wall at full speed causes Sonic to stop dead in his tracks. And that can get a little annoying in 2D sections when Sonic sticks to surfaces that you don't want him to stick to. But anyway, here is a new Wisp, the Indigo Asteroid. Its gimmick is it sucks. No, literally, it absorbs things. It sucks in parts of the stages, different set pieces, and you want to absorb as much as you can in order to, you know, bounce higher. You hold down the jump button and Sonic will bounce up once you release it. And the more you absorb, the more that you, the higher that you bounce. It's a fun little Wisp that we're only going to see in, I think, one other stage in the entire game. The Wisps are terribly underutilized in this game. I wonder why they even put them in the first place. And you probably noticed that weird robotic moon back there. According to a few things that I've read, this is called the Moon Mech, and it's Zaz's weapon that he's going to be using against us, presumably built by Dr. Eggman. Okay, so normally, Zaz takes 4 hits before he moves on to the second phase of his attack. But if you saw there, since I held off on using my homing attack until that targeting reticule built up, I managed to hit him for 4 hits instantaneously within one homing attack. Yeah, you can actually charge up your homing attacks on certain enemies. And for Zaz there, who has a total of 8 hit points in that battle, you can take him down in 2 attacks if you're good enough. He's a complete joke. As are most of the bosses in this game, save for maybe one toward the end. Okay, so what exactly is Eggman doing in this Lost Hex place, and what's the deal with those creatures that he quote-unquote conquered? How did he do that anyway? I guess we'll find more answers as we continue through Windy Hill Zone, but that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.